Good morning, team. Looking at the overall economical calendar this morning, today is August 31st, the last month of August. So we have two Fed speakers speaking today, and we have the ADP employment report coming out today. So definitely want to pay attention to that. Overall, let's look at the charts. Um, Jumping over towards the 180-day 4-hour, this is the SPY over here. You can see we've been rejecting that 4-hour EMA line as we start to move lower. So we want to see if we actually break above it today. We're actually starting to find some type of support around yesterday's low. Yesterday's low was 397.77 on the SPY, and you can see we're trying to basically bounce. Let's see if we hold above that EMA. We haven't broken it yet. 180-day MACD is still crossed down. RSI still more on the oversold side, so it is high risk for short positions. You guys want to watch for a possible bounce from that 499 over here, and then we can start basically pushing up towards those 405s where we had previous resistance before. Or if we break that 397 level over here to the downside, which is yesterday's low, we could possibly start dropping down towards 392, which was a previous support before. Overall, that 1 year is still bearish. We're starting to get more in the oversold side on that 1 year. If we jump over towards the 1 year, you can see that we are starting to get more on the oversold side, but it does have room to travel. Now, this is a major pivot point for the 1 year because now it's starting to come in contact with divergence. Before we were just fading off with that MACD crossover. Now we're coming in touch with divergence, which typically, once we start to get into this area over here, this is the bearish side of the MACD. So if we start to get over here, we could see some acceleration more to the downside. So let's see what happens. It's either we're going to basically fall into it, have more acceleration to the downside, maybe even see 380, or we're going to bounce off this zone over here, and then we could see a nice recovery and possible retest towards that 424. So either or can happen. Let's see what happens. Let's jump over towards the next stock we're going to talk about, which you guys guessed it, it's going to be Tesla. Looking at Tesla over here, Tesla is in between two walls, right? Tesla has a wall over here at the SMA around 281.94. It needs to break that level before it could start going towards 285, which was a previous support level. And if it comes down, yesterday's low for Tesla was around like 272. And once we break that, we have a nice gap down towards 264, which was a previous support level. Tesla's MACD is crossed down. RSI is a little bit more on the oversold side, but the MACD is still crossed down. We're still below that EMA. So we're leaning bearish on Tesla until that breaks, right? Looking at Tesla's 20-day is actually showing some signs of bullishness. You can see we're trying to hold above that EMA. So let's see what happens. We do need to break that SMA first before we can start pushing up. If not, you guys could possibly get in early on Tesla on the break of 276 down towards that 272 over here. So the break of this key support over here, 276 down towards that 272. Next stock we're going to talk about is Apple. Apple basically is on trying to find its grounds over here. You can see kind of same thing, 20 days crossed up, has a resistance at 160. If it breaks 160, it can start pushing up towards 163. If it breaks 157, which was yesterday's support level, we could start basically going down towards 155 on Apple. Last but not least, the stock with probably the most news out of all these stocks we just looked at, Bed Bath & Beyond closing 150 stores. If you don't believe me, it's right here. Bed Bath & Beyond is trading lower because they're closing 150 stores. You can see right here, closing 150 stores. So definitely want to be cautious with this one. But it's leaning more towards the oversold side right now. But with this kind of news, I wouldn't be shocked if we see some oversold sell-off. Right, that is a negative sign. You're closing 150 stores. Only thing it has going for it right now is holding that SMA, right? It's above that SMA, which normally is supposed to be deemed as bullishness. But if it starts to break below $8.40, we could start flushing towards 5 and maybe even breaking this 180-day low at 438. So let's see what happens with that one. That is the main level you want to watch. But I think from 8 to 5, and then we'll retest that 438. Maybe we bounce over here. But if we break that 438, she's heading down towards zero really quick. And I think this is still optionable. So I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully you guys learned something. Use a stop loss. Today the market has been a little bit slower pace, right? A little bit slower pace than what we're used to. Make sure you guys use a stop loss, practice caution. I'll see you guys later. Bye.